How's it going, YouTube? Tim Jacobs here, bringing you guys another episode of This Week at the Tavern. This week at the Tavern, we're going to be playing a deck that I call C'Thun's Dragons. So, last expansion, a deck that I have played a lot actually, and I really did enjoy just for a casual playing deck, was Priest Dragon deck. A lot of synergy with some, cheaper Wormrest agents, the 2-cost taunt that you would get, and things like this. And I really did enjoy the Priest Dragon deck. And so, over the past few days of the new expansion releasing, I wondered if it was possible to really try to synergize these two various decks, the C'Thun Priest deck, which I feel is very strong, as well as the Dragon Priest deck. So in this video, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the deck list that I have, as well as give you guys a little playthrough of the way that the deck works. So unfortunately here, the mage that I'm playing is really taking their time, but it's alright, the game will pick up. So if you guys look at the deck list here, you'll see that there's not too many cheap cards to begin with, and this is often the struggle of the priest, if you will. You often have a very weak starting game, turn 1, 2, and 3. Often, if you do play anything, it's to heal or to try to control the board with some spells and removal and things of this nature. So actually having Forbidden Shaping helps here if you don't have any cards in your hand to play on an early 3 or 4 turn, but again, this is where the dragon aspect comes in with the deck being strong. So with the dragons, you do have these cards that combo very well if you have a dragon in your hand. So you're able to drop things like this Blackwing Technician, a 3/5 that should hopefully remain on the board for a good amount of time, to help you get to that turn 4, turn 5, where you can start dropping some of these bigger minions that combo. Also, you get to mix in some of these C'Thun cards, which also combo very well in their own respect. So dropping your 3s and your 4s from the C'Thun aspect of the deck also helps a lot. So again, mage really taking their time here.
Someday I'll be just like you.
So at this point, I haven't seen any C'Thun cards coming out of the mage, so I'm just assuming that it's gonna be a spell-heavy mage, seeing as there's a Sorcerer's Apprentice, there's a Wormrest Accord, things of this nature. So at this point, not really sure how to play against this mage. I'm just kind of going with the deck. This is one of the first few games that I played with it, and I've been having a pretty good success rate with it, to be honest. I've actually been really enjoying it. So the last card I just drew there, Ancient Harbinger. So if you guys look at the deck list there are 2 10s that I have in the deck, C'Thun and Deathwing. So Deathwing I had drawn from the packs that I had opened in the first video that we had, the 300 plus pack opening. And one of the first things that came to my mind once I drew Deathwing was, wow, this card is going to work very well with the Priest Dragon deck. And, unbeknownst to me, Priest wound up being super strong with C'Thun, so I had no desire to play a Priest Dragon deck. So I kept playing the Priest C'Thun deck, kept playing it, and I enjoyed it, but it's highly expected. A lot of people are playing the C'Thun Priest deck right now because it's just really strong. So what I tried to do was throw in some control here, as well as board controls and the dragon aspect to maybe throw people off their game. So they expect a typical C'Thun deck, right? C'Thun deck, seeing all these C'Thun cards. But then you have some aspects of control, like Entombs. Then you also have some aspects of board clears, such as the Excavated Evil and things of this nature. So it's definitely a fun deck to play, and it really does throw people off. Now, it can be debated whether or not the Ancient Harbinger is worth using in this deck. I personally enjoy it. So a lot of people will notice if you're playing a C'Thun deck, one of the worst things that can happen is, A, you're not drawing any cards to buff your C'Thun, and your C'Thun is sitting in your hand. It's very annoying, it happens, it is what it is. But another annoying aspect of C'Thun decks, where they can become very weak, is if you are buffing your C'Thun, but you're just simply not drawing your C'Thun. And it's one of the last few cards in your deck. You have 5 or 6 cards left, and it's down at the very bottom. Very annoying, very annoying. But with the Ancient Harbinger, if you're able to get a turn off where your turn, the card sits on the board long enough, then you're able to get C'Thun pulled straight into your hand, or Deathwing pulled straight into your hand. So it's certainly great, because if you get at least 1 turn from the Harbinger getting played, which, mind you, is a challenge in and of itself, if you're able to get that Harbinger on the board, A, you'll pull a C'Thun or Deathwing. If you drop those on the board by turn 10, then you can hopefully not have your Harbinger targeted, in which case you'll get a second turn to be able to get either C'Thun or Deathwing. So I dropped down the Harbinger here a little bit early, but I mean the 6 health I feel can definitely push me through at least to 1 turn. I'm praying that the mage doesn't have a fireball. I go ahead and clear the board just to make sure that they're not going to be able to buff that Wormrest Accord and take out my Harbinger. So right here, high priority target to save for me is the Harbinger. And guys, with this deck, what I found is if you can get at least 1 turn out of the Harbinger, it really changes the momentum into your favor. But again, it's a challenge in and of itself. So this mage decided to take out the 4-3 dragon instead of attacking the 4-6 Harbinger. That's fine, it's fine. I'll go ahead and take my free 10 draw for my deck. So first card we get here is C'Thun, which is fine. I do have 2 dragons in my hand, so you know, Deathwing would have been nice, but maybe we can get Deathwing next. So what you want to do here is, you see how when you play Deathwing, you don't get your combos out, your battle cries, right? So what you want to do is you want to chuck your cards that rely on the battle cry. So being able to chuck out your Twilight Drake or Twilight Guardians, you want them to go out there because you don't want them to A, not have a taunt, or B, have the extra health. So what I decided to do here was to just simply play my C'Thun, clear the board, and cross my fingers that the mage doesn't have a fireball, so that I can go ahead and get my Harbinger 1 more turn, and pray to the old gods that I'm able to pull Deathwing. Because in my experience, guys, with this deck, if you're able to get at least 2 turns at a Harbinger, it's almost always GG. So definitely a fun deck here to play. And if you don't even get Harbinger at all, you still have a chance of drawing, you know, the cards in and of themselves. So, but here we go, double draw here, get 1 Entomb and 1 Deathwing. So definitely pumped here, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to clear this board. It's hard decision here. So I was thinking clear board and then play my 4-6 taunt, or do I want to just drop Deathwing? I saw that the mage only has 1 card in their hand, so I'm gonna play down Deathwing. This guy's gonna have to this 4-6 here, Harbinger, just pulled out 2 10s for me. So this guy's thinking high priority here, even over C'Thun and Deathwing for him, which is hilarious, is gonna be the Harbinger. So let's see what he goes for. I mean, I don't know if I would have gone for the Harbinger first, but I mean, at this point he's kind of, you know, SOL. So if he's able to survive, I don't know. But he goes ahead, pings on the 4-6 and brings the Harbinger down. And now at this point, I have 2 beastly cards on the board. I wonder if I want to try to trigger my Deathwing's Death Rattle. It's not wholly necessary. It's not like I have Ysera in my hand or anything like this. So what I decide to do instead is just simply clear the board, give Gate of Evil. And now I have a clear line of sight straight to face, and I just tag him. So definitely a fun deck to play here, guys. If you have not played a C'Thun Dragon deck, you're doing something wrong, because it is a blast. It is a very fun deck to play, and it's highly unanticipated. So yeah, thanks for joining us this week at the Tavern. Hopefully we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for stopping by.